right, Arush, thank you. Let's give it up once again. I'm not gonna lie, Miss Akili, I was a bit scared when he started saying that. All right, so once again, there was a lot to learn from that about how AI can be used not only in the classroom, but by teachers, by students, and how the benefits can sometimes outweigh the negatives. So this brings us to our very last speaker of the day, Wilhelmina Reynolds. And Wilhelmina will be talking about whether or not we can ever be content with our lives, because really, when does a chase to find happiness stop? You'll have to wait for this next talk to find out. So everyone, please put your hands together for Wilhelmina Reynolds.
I'd like to tell you all a story about someone. His name was Jude, and he had everything he could possibly want at his age, an age close to many of ours. A beautiful home, wonderful friends, and excellent grades, and yet he couldn't help but feel like something was still lacking from his life, as each day he grew to be more and more unhappy. And as a result, he began to ask himself this question often: how could my life be different? But Jude's discontentment only grew to the point at which he began to wonder if he would ever become happy again. But it wasn't until Jude hit rock bottom that he realized the true source of this unhappiness. It wasn't his lack of material possessions or the imperfections in his life that were causing him misery. It was his constant longing for something more. He had become so fixated on the idea that things could always be better that he had lost sight of the good things that he already had. I'd like to think that each of us can relate to Jude's experience in some level, as we all have this deep yearning, this desire to improve our lives in one way or another, whether that may be through getting that good grade on a test that you've been wanting, or getting that promotion in your job, because those things will result in your happiness, although that happiness would be temporary. And this temporary happiness is a concept that all of us are very, very familiar with. So perhaps what we should be thinking about is this: the more we imagine how things could be better, the less content with our lives we truly are. Now, I wish I could say that the purpose of humanity is to be happy, and though it is a nice thought to think, it's not necessarily true. Not at all, and yet many of us pursue it as if it was something that could provide us with forever peace, forever hope, forever contentment with life. But that's the problem exactly. It's not forever. So if that truly is the case, how happiness is not forever, why should we not spend our lives chasing it? But the thing is, while those people chase, they'll begin to realize how elusive the pursuit of happiness really is. They'll begin to imagine how bad things could be good, and even how already good things could be better. You see, it's about the possibilities of what could be, because not everything that can bring us happiness is real. Now, I'd like to ask you all a question. How do you think school could be different? Now, you may say something along the lines of how we could start school later, or how we could have a longer lunch period, no homework. Not that we're complaining, but what all of your answers likely have in common is that they're about making school better. But I didn't ask you how school could be better. I asked you how school could be different. Now, the same thing that all of you are likely wondering about right now is the same thing that Adam Mastriani was wondering about when he conducted 8 studies on how human beings have this possibly universal tendency to imagine how things could be better. An overwhelming 90% of the participants showed this tendency, and especially in psychology, that is extremely rare for such a large group of people to show something like this. Now, there is one more thing that you and Jude share, and that's that you grow used to the good things that once brought you joy. Take, for example, someone who just won the lottery. Of course, they would originally be very happy with their newfound wealth, but over time, this happiness would dissipate. And even with their attempts of creating new happiness for themselves, whether that's buying a house, a second house, a third house, a car, a second car, a hot tub, and so on forever, whatever they may choose, each of those things will only provide them with temporary happiness. And this temporary happiness is a result of hedonic adaptation. And put simply, that is that no matter how much happiness we gain or lose, we always return to our baseline level of happiness. But people come from different situations in life, and of course, modifications can be made because of this. If someone who just escaped poverty or depression, they would definitely experience an increase in their overall happiness level. But overall, as human beings, we're all still stuck in the same cycle of imagining what could be better and wanting to improve our circumstances in life. So that is to say that we as human beings adapt. We get used to the good things. We want more, we want better, because things could always be better. And this tendency, though it does seem inherently negative, is not entirely that. Though it may lead to frustration, disappointment, and dissatisfaction, it also affords the incentive to improve ourselves, our circumstances, and our world. Before I leave you here today, there is one thing I want to convey to you, a message. Take your favorite thing, or rather something that used to be your favorite thing, and you want to love it as much as you once did. Whether that's your favorite TV show, your favorite movie, your favorite book, your favorite shoes even if it's something as simple as going on a walk in the park with your dog. Take that thing, and I know this does sound counterintuitive, but take a break, whether that's a week, a month, or even a year. Because when you return, you may just love that thing a little bit more. So perhaps when it comes to searching for happiness, balance is key. Thank you.
All right, everybody, let's give it up for Wilhelmina. And with that, Green Level's first ever TEDx event has officially come to a close. Before we dismiss you all, we would just like to say a couple of words, and if we can just have all of the speakers come up on the stage, as well as our advisor, Mrs. Hill. First, we would like to express our gratitude to our amazing advisor, Mrs. Hill, and our supportive school faculty who could make this event possible. With your assistance and guidance, we were able to make this event an amazing success. We would also like to congratulate all of our student speakers here today for presenting their outstanding speeches. They have worked, please give them a round. They've worked incredibly hard to be here presenting in front of you all, and coming up on this stage at such a young age is such a phenomenal feat that they're accomplishing. Lastly, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out to support and celebrate this event and our speakers. Without your support, we would not be here today. I hope that from these talks, you have learned something. Whether it is identifying different character traits of dictators or adding morning pages to your morning routine. But more importantly, I hope that from these talks, you were able to appreciate the diverse minds of these students and the different and unique ideas presented here today. This is what the true essence of TED is, and I hope that you are all able to take that with you. Thank you again to everyone who made this event possible, and we hope to see you all next year. Another thanks to Wegmans for their amazing donations for cookies and drinks, so please help yourself to some on the way out. But please just be respectful of the students who are taking a practice exam outside in the cafeteria. So if you could just be quiet while exiting, that would be great. And speakers, just please stay back for a quick picture. Thank you all.
All right, you all are free to leave. Parents, if you guys want to stay back for pictures, feel free. And we can have, we'll just have all the parents.
Like if they want to sit.
Yeah.
They'll go to the light.
Sorry. All right, guys, just wait for 1 second. We'll just have our picture come up, and then Miss Julie, you want to stand? I'll stay up. I'll go on that way.
Is that okay? Yes. Oh, you want to go on the side?
Yeah, well, she's on that. All right, we'll take a look. Good? Good? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much again. Again, help yourself to some treats on the way out. We'll join you there. Thank you all.
Yeah, can I take a picture?
No, I just read that. I actually didn't use it.
I know, it was perfect. It was so funny. Because I was reading it yesterday during the teacher workday too. That's so funny. You did a really good job.
Oh, you have a picture? With the few? Really?